The first one I made actually was covered with manila from filing folders, which come in different weights and thicknesses, and of course different qualities, which was quite satisfactory, except it was a bit heavy because the material is a bit heavy, and also there's a considerable oil content in it, and it doesn't take finish and glues all that well.
No,
but it worked, and I was encouraged from that. And the next one I think I made out of Special K and PG Tips cartons.
Oh, right.
Which actually was featured in Radio Modeler, and they were going to publish the plan, and I went to a lot of trouble actually to make a good plan and explain how it was done and so on, and I submitted it, but at the same time they published an article I'd written, and it said, in a month we'll be putting this model in, etc. And they changed the editor. And the editor, I think, was Ken Shepherd when I submitted it, and he was keen on this sort of thing. The new editor, I gather, wasn't keen on this sort of thing, so it never got published, and I never got the plan back, and that was all I didn't keep a copy of it.
So what sort of wingspan were they then?
Well, this one was only about 42 inches. I've still got it actually.
Yeah.
I've put a little pylon on it and a little CD type.
Yeah, that brushed this out. Yeah.
And I've also now put ailerons on it, although it was originally only a rudder elevator. But I've got.
And then what would you use for the spar then?
Well, it's just imagine a basic balsa and spruce structure.
Yeah.
Covered with panels of
cardboard.
Of thin card.
All right.
The card I've ended up using is called folding boxboard, and it's the material that, as I say, Special K cartons and tea. If you look at your toothpaste when it comes, you'll find that that's in a carton of very good quality boxboard. Any medications are always in a very good quality boxboard basmata.
I was going to tell them my joke about the PG tips on the tail.
Go on
then. Tell them the joke.
When he made it out of cornflakes packets and PG tips,
Yeah.
and the tail piece was from PG tips, and I said, is that what you call a real tea tail?
Boom.
Well, actually, people make a lot of jokes about it, and that was the best one. Yeah. Actually, we're going back to the early 90s or before, aren't we? Here?
It's old.
The glory days.
The old jokes.
It's known as Tip Special, isn't it?
We now call it Tip
Special.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but it's a state still. And I've flown it here not all that long ago, actually. But no, I've got one I call ASG2, which is a sort of spoof scale glider. It looks a bit like a sort of discus combined with DG1000. And it's just sort of based on that design, and that's roughly 10-foot span. So it's just a balsa structure, as I say, covered with panels, and I've got scale models. I've got a Blenheim that's sort of, but the balsa craft Blenheim, all covered in panels of card. The point about it is, it gives the structure enormous strength, stress skin.
Yeah.
That's the same principle.
Yeah.
It takes the curves very well as well.
And that's right. Yes. If boxboard actually it's quite a sophisticated product. I mean, the good quality ones, although they might be very thin, just maybe about sort of 1/4 of a millimetre thick, are still laminations of maybe as much as 6 layers of very fine paper, top and bottom, and then layers of fibre in the middle. And as a result, it's stiff, it's quite light, and it will conform within limits to shape. If you dope the back, one side of it, say, it'll curl. So you can use that curl, say, on the wings for the aerofoil.
Yeah.
And I had a thing called Spitfire, which was based on the Spitfire, but the wings were 20% bigger span, so stretch span. And although it was an elliptical wing, I was able to use the card to make that, and that lasted, I don't know, 10, 12 years.
So what's your name, sir? So we can
John Norman.
Nice to meet you, John. So we can capture it for prosperity.
Yeah. Oh look!
And here comes Mrs. Norman with the details.
With an identity card.
Thank you very much.
That's it. Got your name and number
Yeah,
now.
that's it. No escape.